I always struggled with like Cameo, Halo and stuff like that because I don't really like generic music. Like if I'm in Cameo, I'm in the basement room, not in the cheese or the or the main like vinyl or the main room. So I did like those clubs, but like not as much. So for me it would be like five.
Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, course, and your year?
So I'm Lottie Smith. I'm a master's student doing Master of Research. So that's not really undergraduate year. And my course it's in the Faculty of Media and Communication, but I'm focusing on a historical viewpoint. I'm looking at anti-fascism in Britain, but looking through autobiographies and memory and stuff like that.
And would you like to mention your hometown?
So I'm from a little town called Didcot. It's in Oxfordshire. Not many people know it, near Oxford.
Okay, so could you rest of the course you're currently taking?
So I'm doing a master's by research, so it's not taught. There's no contact hours. You do have meetings with supervisors, but you're basically kind of left to your own devices. It's just a year-long course.
Why did you choose your course?
So I did my undergraduate at BU. I did BA Honours History, and I really enjoyed being at Bournemouth, so I wanted to continue studying there. I chose a master's because I want to do a PhD, and it's kind of the route that you have to take. I want to be in academia. I really enjoy it, so it seemed like the sensible choice.
How far are you into your course?
Started in January, so 7 months. I hand in at the end of November, but I don't officially finish until January next year.
What have you thought of your course so far?
I have enjoyed it. It's been obviously a little bit weird because of lockdown and stuff like that, not being at uni. It's been, like I enjoy being at the uni campus, and less like resources from the library and stuff has been really difficult, but I do really enjoy it. I like the I feel like less of a student and more of a peer, like with regards to lecturers and other academics at the uni. So it's a really nice like little community.
And what do you think did you come from a sixth form or or college background?
I did sixth form, so I did A levels.
And what A levels did you do at sixth form?
I did performing arts, history and English literature.
Did any of those A levels help you with your course?
Yeah, history obviously and English literature definitely helps with like writing skills and stuff like that. Performing arts not so much, but I really enjoyed it anyway, and I think it did because performing arts gives you like confidence and teaches you how to speak publicly and stuff like that, so I'm quite good at presentations and things.
What do you think the best A levels / subjects are for your course?
Definitely history, English and politics. That's one thing I maybe regret. I wish I took politics. I'm trying to be as up to date as possible, but I'm not the best with it, and with history they're very much linked, so that would definitely be a good one.
And if you go to your undergrad, why did you choose your undergrad course?
So the history course at Bournemouth is linked, so we're in the media and communications faculty, which a lot of people think is weird, but we're linked to a lot of the topics and courses are linked to like media studies. I thought that was really interesting. I like the modern kind of viewpoint on it. I knew some people that went to Bournemouth Uni who were in the years above, and they really enjoyed it, so I thought it would be a good place for me.
Did you do a placement year while in that undergrad course?
No, I didn't do a placement year.
So what did you think of the 3 years while you were doing your undergrad history course?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously it was stressful. Uni is stressful, money, loads of work, tired, like stuff like that, same as everyone else, but the actual course itself I did enjoy.
If we go into the university you're currently studying at, which is...
Pardon, sorry?
If we go into the university you're currently studying at, which is...
Bournemouth Uni.
What are the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth University? Starting off with the worst.
The worst. I had quite a good experience. I guess one thing that annoys me, I don't know if this is Bournemouth specific, things like having to pay for extras like printing and things like that. I find very frustrating, but I don't know if that's Bournemouth's fault specifically. I think all unis have to do that. I got quite lucky. I think my lecturers and supervisors and stuff were really really helpful and generous with their time, but I know a lot of my friends on other subjects felt like they didn't get that extra support. Obviously you got support in your lectures or allotted extra time slots, but anything other than that, I think a lot of people had complaints that there was not sort of any extra effort made.
Anything else bad, or is just that's it?
I'm sure when I was there, I probably said there was lots of things bad, but now I can't think of any more.
So what are the best things about studying at Bournemouth University?
I like the modern campus. I think that all the buildings, even the older buildings, I think are quite good. I think they've got good like facilities. I think we have a really good student union. I love Subu. I like the building and the union itself. I think Bournemouth's really inclusive, like race, gender, disability, stuff like that. There's loads of like extra, I don't know if clubs is the right word, but extra activities and things like that in the union. So I did really like that. And yeah, the campus is good. I think we've got good study, good food, stuff like that.
If you're going to do accommodation for the last 3 or 4 years, where did you stay in your first year?
So I actually did my first year twice. Well, I started in 2015, but I had some like personal problems. I didn't really feel like I was ready. I kind of let myself down a bit with my grades and stuff. The uni were really, really nice, and basically I restarted in the following September. So in my first year, I lived at Dorchester Accommodation.
What did you think of Dorchester?
I like Dorchester. I like that I got a double bed. Most people got a single bed. Double bed's always good. It's quite modern, I think, like big, spacious.
What kind of vibe does Dorchester have? Well, obviously, when you were there. So was it the party house? Was it the calm house? Was it the social house?
I think it was quite a mixture of both. I always remember Purbeck being like party accommodation block. Like I would always go there for parties, and like before summer ball and stuff like that, that's where you'd be. I think Dorchester did have that, but not as much. I don't know why, but I feel like the older accommodations like Cranbourne and Purbeck and stuff for some reason are just a bit more social and party and stuff like that. But I did enjoy Dorchester.
In your first year repeat?
Yeah.
Where did you stay?
So I didn't stay in uni accommodation. I stayed in a house in Winton, and then same for my second and third year.
What was the transition like from going from Dorchester House to a Winton house? Obviously, student accommodation to normal private housing.
Yeah. It was the one thing that I appreciate uni for is like figuring out how to set up bills and stuff like that. Like that was stress. I found that so stressful. Like, that was a big change. Even things like in my uni accommodation, I like leave the lights on. I'm like, oh, I'm not paying for that. It's fine. And then even in the kitchen, I'm like, no, turn the light off. Cook in the dark. And obviously being in a different location, like Winton's all right, but it's a bit more like very old kind of high street, whereas Bournemouth town centre's like obviously where all the action is.
How far was Winton from everything? Were you still included in all the stuff you were in your first year?
Yeah,
or not?
It's not far. Like a lot of that's where all like most second and third years live. So it's still a very like student area. Like you walk downtown and students everywhere, and there's a couple of pubs and stuff like that. So it's not bad, but I did feel sometimes that it was a little bit out the way. Like even on nights out and stuff, like you don't have to get a taxi back. Like I wouldn't walk it. You could walk it, but not like late at night on my own. Do you know what I mean? So if I was like extra skint, I'd be like, oh, I can't afford the taxi back. Like I'm not going to go out. So that was a bit difficult. But in second and third year, that's where most of your friends are anyway. So it's all right.
Your personal opinion, what do you think the best Bournemouth accommodation is?
I don't know.
We'll say for price first, and then for what they give. For price.
I think Dorchester was good, but I think it was a little bit more on the expensive side. But then you do get the like bigger space, double bed. It is more modern. But then again, it was a very like I didn't like wasn't that cozy? Like it was kind of all big, spacious, like white, grey, like not a lot of like
colour.
Furniture. Yeah, just like big space. Kind of like a doctor's room or like it's just like bare and like but it was because it was like modern and stuff like that. I think that was a bit expensive, but I did like the size. And
then the best Bournemouth accommodation if price wasn't a problem.
I'm not sure. I think there's a new one. There's a newer one that I've not been to or seen that I think is like a fancier one.
Okay.
I've not seen that. What is? Do you know what that is? Is there a new one? Am I right?
There's Bailey Point, Skyline, Oxford Point,
I don't know any of those. I don't know where they.
Bellerton, Home Park. There's a couple new ones, accommodation in Bournemouth.
I literally don't know any of those, so they're out the running for me because I don't even know they exist. I liked Purbeck. I think it was just a good social like party place.
Say if you're a first year trying to just meet some people and go out, Purbeck's the place where everything's happening.
I think so. I think it's a good social one. It definitely was like lots of noise and stuff, so maybe if you're not always into partying and that and need your sleep, it's not always the best. The walls are really thin. The walls are really thin in Purbeck. You can hear people like plugging in and out their phone chargers and that. So if you need a lot of sleep, maybe not that one, but it's a good social one.
If we go into the Bournemouth area, could you tell us about the Bournemouth nightlife?
I like Bournemouth nightlife. I think there's a good, for like whatever vibe you want, like there's pubs, bars and clubs, so if you're just, whether you want to get dressed up, whether you just want to chill, there's kind of something for everyone. Obviously, it being a uni town, there's something on, like, even every single night of the week, like Monday, whatever. So that's quite good. I also think that Bournemouth's quite good at having, like events, like artists, like, or like dance music, like lots of raves and things like that. I think that's good. And they have, like, obviously the O2 in... I can't remember where it is.
Yeah, there's an O2 near. There's a near Bournemouth.
Yeah, just outside. Well, yeah, close. That's always good. Like they have good events and like artists that visit there. So yeah, I do like it.
What would you say compared to where you live, where your hometown to Bournemouth, the shops and food varieties like? Would you say Bournemouth's got your basic, like your Nando's, your KFCs, your Primarks? Or would you say they've got like local shops, basic shops, and new kinds of shops for everything you need?
I think that Bournemouth does have good shopping. They have what's it called? Castle Point. Castle Point is good, but it is very like your general like Topshop, H&M, blah blah blah. I quite like so I go shopping in Oxford, like City. Again, they have generic shops, but they do have like little boutiques and like sort of locally run businesses. But I think Bournemouth shopping is good. I would like to see a few more like little independent food places maybe, or like stuff like that, but there is good options there.
Is there anything else you think students should know about the Bournemouth area? Any places they should visit? Obviously the beach, but any places they should visit, any places they should know about?
I don't even visit the beach that much, because like when you're there in like, we're there in winter, and when it's summer we leave, so yeah. And then when you get a really really hot day, you go down there and it's absolutely packed, so I don't even know. Like, if you want to go to the beach, I would recommend going to, like, Sandbanks or Durdle Door, like, one of the less, not just popular place, because sometimes it's just so busy and you can't chill. So I'd say that. I don't know, really. I think that they've got nice bars, like 66 million postcards and places like that, like good cocktails and chill out bars and stuff.
What's the club for you to go to? The club.
I don't know. I mean, I always struggled with like Cameo, Halo and stuff like that, because I don't really like generic music. Like if I'm in Cameo, I'm in the basement room, not in the cheese or the main like vinyl or the main room. So I didn't really like. I did like those clubs, but like not as much. So for me, it would be like Fire Station or O2 for like a music like gig event act type thing.
And what was the shop for you to go to? The food shop.
Food shop. It's just cheesy if I say Nando's, isn't it? They have a rooster. They have a Roosters. You've ever had Roosters?
I've never had Roosters. No. What do they sell at Roosters? What sold you at Roosters?
It's basically like Nando's, but a bit more. They have more like options. So they have like Lebanese, Mexican, like spicy flavorings. It's like chicken and chips basically, but more options. And I have food allergies, so I'm gluten and dairy intolerant, and all their stuff's gluten and dairy free. So I just love it. It's like if you want a Nando's but you've had too many, it's just something a little bit different.
What advice would you give what general advice would you give the first years about to start university?
I mean, uni is obviously like a great time, but like not for everyone. Like I said, in my first year, I really, really struggled. I think just try and enjoy it. It is fun and you'll enjoy the nights out and stuff, but just try and not let the bad stress like overweigh the fun times, and like take care of yourself. Like I know I sound like a nan, but eat your vegetables and try and sleep, because so many people don't. So many people just burn themselves out. I know I did before, and like just try and take the stress as it comes and just go with it. Do you know what I mean?
What advice would you give to students about to study, first year students about to study at Bournemouth University?
Ooh. Get to know the campus if you can, because like even in as a master's student, I've been there 4 years, well technically 4.5, and I still don't know where I'm going. Like make the effort to find out where places are, because I've been late so many times. And I suppose don't bring your library books back too late, because I've been caught by late fees so many times, and that is a good piece of advice because they charge loads.
And what advice would you give to students, first year students about to study history?
Ooh, do the reading. There's so much reading. I know that with all courses at uni there's so much reading, but with history specifically, it's ridiculous. Like in your spare time, try and make it like a hobby, like what you're doing now. Like this is something you enjoy doing, but it's purposeful and it gives you like a head start. Like try and watch documentaries or listen to history podcasts, because something that they really look for is your wider knowledge, like random bits of information, well not random, but bits of information you can bring in from other eras and topics to what you're studying, is something that they do look for.
You chose going to university over an apprenticeship slash going right into work. What path did you to make this choice?
I suppose deep down, when I was like starting sixth form, my genuine, maybe I shouldn't say this, but my genuine first thought was, I don't want to get a job right now. I don't want to work full time. Like I have worked on part-time jobs and stuff like that, obviously. But I was scared, like I couldn't imagine
Working for the rest of your life.
To me,
right.
Uni, yeah, like from now until I die, basically, well, retire, like whatever. And uni was never, like you say, a lot of people are scared. You said you weren't deterred from it. Like my parents were always very like keen for me to go. I wasn't nervous about it. Obviously, there's a lot of debt, but like when you actually break it down and look at how much you're paying back and when, it's not as scary, and it can give you such a boost. I mean, I think apprenticeships are amazing. I think they're really good. But if you like studying and you're an intellectual, like academic, not intellectual because you know you can be intellectual and do anything, academic person, then I think uni's a good choice. And it's taught me so much. Like I've grown up so much from when I went to uni, like bills, washing, like sorting out money, like just taking care of yourself.
Hey, can you tell us what professional steps you're planning to do next?
So I hope to eventually be a professor, well, lecturer first, professor I think it's a bit harder to get to, and do a bit of extra academic work on the side. I like writing, I'd love to write, I love the media side of history, like I'd love to get involved in documentaries or things like that, but that's all quite big goal. So for now I'm just trying to do my masters, and then hopefully I'll start a PhD next year and then go from there.
At this point, we let students have what I like to call a free-for-all. You can say what you like about what you want. You could give advice, you could tell a story, you could put your acts, you could literally say anything you like. The floor is yours.
I'm not sure really. I mean, I think I suppose one thing that I say is good about BU that I kind of forgot to mention earlier. So like as I said, I struggled in my first year. Had like quite bad anxiety. Like I've always been quite open about that. I don't mind talking about it now, but when I first like kind of realised I had anxiety, I was really closed down about it. And the uni have a really, really good like student wellbeing. support service. I think more people need to know about that. It's completely free. I had like full on like I suppose it's counselling for free, which would usually cost you hundreds, and that was really good. So I would recommend like people make the effort to go there, basically.
I'm plugged
in. Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Thank you. Have a nice day.